are going to see how to create this effect using HTML and CSS. We're not going to use any JavaScript. This is pure HTML and CSS. Now if you see, when I hover on the image gets sliced and the next image shows up. So here we need two files, which is one HTML file and one CSS file, and let me open the file, and two images. So the two images I have named it as image1 and image. I'll leave the description of this source code in case if you got, just copy paste it. Now let me just create a file. We are in the same folder, so let me create an index file, index2.html, sorry, index2, control shift s, index2.html. I'm giving the suffix name 2, it's because we are in the same folder to avoid name conflict. Now again we need a style sheet. We can give any name. I'm going to give style2.css. Now exclamatory tab, since it's an emmet, it is going to auto-populate the HTML. Let me link the style sheet, which is style2.css. Here we need a container. Let me just copy paste the code just to save time. The HTML is very straightforward. We have a container. Inside the container we have two children. The first children is vox1, the second children is vox2. Both share the same class name called vox, and each vox has 4 span inside it. So this span is nothing but, you can see that 4 divide. The image is getting divided into 4 sections. It's because of these 4 span. In case if you want the image to be divided like 8, you need 8 span inside it. Fine. Now let me remove the margin. Let me just show you how does our HTML looks like. We haven't linked anything, so it is going to be a plain HTML. Now for all element, let me remove the border, sorry, padding and margin, padding 0 and margin 0. Now let me remove let me add the box sizing border box. Now let me target the body. So whatever is there inside the body, I want it to be at the center, so I'll use the text display flex, align item center, it's going to vertically align, and justify content center, it's going to horizontally align. So align item center won't work unless you have added height to it. Height 100% of the browser height, viewport this is the short form of viewport. Viewport is nothing but browser screen. Now let me just add the background color black, just to have some good contrast. Now we have container. So since you are watching my video, I'm going to give you a trick. So this is how we need to write a CSS. So inside the container we have vox1. So the first we have common class, then we have vox1, it's the same div, then we have vox2, shift alt down arrow, it will duplicate it, shift alt down arrow, then we have span, again shift alt down arrow, then we have span. So this is how we write CSS. If you don't write this CSS, there are chances that your CSS will get overridden if you write thousands line of CSS code. So it is better to have written CSS in this way. So there is a concept called CSS specificity. I would recommend all the beginners to know what is CSS specificity. Cool. Now let me jump into the what do you call? Let me jump into our tutorial. Fine. Before doing anything, I have created two images. So these two images are of same height. So I know the height, so which is width of 600 pixel and height of 400 pixel. And let me just give the background color white so that we can see. So this is wheat color. Cool. Now everything seems set. Now what do I need? So I want to position the span absolute, so it is recommended to have the parent. The span parent is vox, so I am giving the parent as position relative, so that I can give position absolute to the child. Now left is I'm going to start it from left and start from top, and this fan is going to have background image of URL. You can type and the Visual Studio will show up. Now if you refresh, it is not going to show up unless you give a width of 25 percentage and height of 100 percentage. So this 100 percentage height will be taken from this one. So this, if you give box width height of 100 percentage and width of 100 percentage, it is going to take its parent. So the box parent is container, so this is the height and width of the box, and this is the, so the box shares the height and width with this fan. So we have given the width 25 pixel. Why 25 pixel? We need 4 split, so 100 divided by 4 is 25. So if you need 8, so you need to make the you need to divide it by 100 and have the width over here. So you can see it's one below the other. So call the, we don't need one below the other, we want it to be at the side. So display flex, now let me just see. All of them are one below, all of them has taken the position. It's better, let me just comment this and let me see. Now you got it. Now we need to access the individual span tag. We can access the individual span tag within the nth child. So I would recommend you to watch this first box, because second box is going to be the exact same. I'll be just copy pasting the same lines of code to this sections. Now let me access the second span by using nth child. So let's access the first one, or shift alt down space, shift alt down arrow, shift alt down arrow. So second, third, fourth. Now instead of giving width 25 percentage, yeah, that's fine, but now we need to give manually background position 33 percentage, which is background position X. Start from 0 and let this be 33, let this be 66, let this be 99. Cool. The same way, so before that let me add the hover effect. When I hover on the container, I want the box, not the box but the span, to transform, rotate on x-axis by 90 degree. Let me just hover it. It is going to be quick. So to make this visible, we need to have transition so that there will be smooth movement. Hover it. When I hover on the container, you can see, but it is transforming to the center. I want it transform to the top, to transform origin top. So go up. Now you can see it is going up. The same way, if I add transition time span, like starting with 0.2 second, let me just copy paste to all, 0.4, a little more delay, a little more delay, a little more delay than previous. Now we can remove this because we have given individual span tag transition delay. So you can see, if you want a 3D effect, you can add translate Y of minus 50 percentage. Refresh it. Now you can see. So the same way, we don't need this position concept here. So copy the same thing from the box 1 to box 2, and here the image is going to be 2. Refresh it. Now if you see, it has taken bottom position. Now it is recommended to use the position concept. So let me again copy paste it, make this 2 and make the image 2. Where is the position absolute? to the container position, position relative to the container, and we can uncomment this. Since it is getting repeated, what we can do is we can simply give it to the common class, which is box. We can remove it from box 1 and box 2. Now it got overlapped. Now let me just copy the same thing to the box 2 as well. Here we just need to play with the x, rotate x. So it got properly the background position got properly distributed among the 4 span. Now if I hover on the container, let me just copy paste it. I'll just paste it here. If I hover on the container, the box, so this should be box 1 and this should be box 2. Refresh it. If I hover on the box 2 should, so minus 50%. If it got erased because we have given Control Z, I have given Control Z. So both of them are getting the same effect. So for the box 2, I want it to start from, let me just copy this and give it to box 2. We don't need this translate. Start from 0. No, so we can start it from 90 degree and end on 0. This is specifically for box 2. So when I hover, the box 2 should get 0 degree. Let us just comment the first one and check the second one. So to troubleshoot, click on this. So it has the height of 0. So when I hover it, you will see 150 into 0. 150 is width and height is 0. So it is better to give height to this fan. So we'll give it to the common class. The common class has height. So then it seems that we have given height, but still it's not showing up. Width and height, you can see height is given to the box 2. Instead of 90 degree, let me just make this 0. 0 means you can view it. Now if I make this 80, so it is at the top. So we don't want it at the top. We want it to be at the bottom. So transform origin bottom. So it is at the bottom now. Let this be 90. So it would be perpendicular to the screen. Now when I hover it, I want it to be 0. Let me just take this down. When I hover it, I want it to be 0. So you got it. Now I think if I uncomment this would work. Refresh it. Cool. Yeah, the video got little long, but you have learned how to debug the issue. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for listening.